Hey everyone, decided to post another video just because one of the things that I do like to do is draw in my spare time. Um, I never followed it professionally, um, only because I find it better when I really don't have like a set schedule or deadline to meet and specific like details customers want for their artwork. Um, Kind of drives me crazy. Um, I've tried to do commission work just for the fun of it, just for a couple of bucks here and there. Um, the people I was dealing with were kind of getting on my nerves, to be honest. They would just basically start off with like the roughest idea of what they want me to draw, and I would send them like updates, regularly through Facebook or whatever, through Messenger, and say like, okay, this is what I'm doing so far. What do you think? And basically what it came down to, I mean, I had somebody that I basically was showing them updates like constantly, from like the rough sketches to like the pencil work to like the inking, all the way down to the painting to the finished product, for them to turn around and say they don't like it, which just pissed me off to like no extent, to honestly to sit there and put all that time and effort, hours, into the artwork, and then for them to say like, oh, I don't like it, though I was showing them regularly, the sketches, like I said, literally step by step what I was doing, and I was getting like, oh, this is looking good. So I'm thinking, oh, if they're saying it's looking good, I'm just going to continue, and then for them to turn around and say when the product's finished that they don't like it. And then I've had another situation where, of course, the requests I get are drawing kaiju. Um, I had somebody, they wanted me to do Gamera 96 Gamera, I think it was, versus the 89 Godzilla. And I had this great sketch that I did of how I wanted it to look. I sent it to them, and they're like, oh, no, I don't like it. Um, I mean, to me, it was like a not a dramatic, a dynamic poses, a dynamic imagery of them fighting. And basically, the end result was just the two of them kind of like standing together, which I thought was kind of boring. It wasn't really like my thing. Though a lot of my drawings are more or less not really so much action poses. But I'm thinking like, okay, he wants me to draw like two monsters fighting, and the end result is what he finally wanted was just the two of them standing together, side by side, which I thought was so fucking dull. So I really don't do commission work, mainly for that reason. Um, Now I've reached out to artists before and requested, um, commission work, and basically I just told them go nuts. It's like the only instructions I gave them. I told them like, oh, the idea that I want them to work on. Send them reference photos, and they're like, oh, all right, this sounds like an interesting idea. Let's see what I can come up with. And I was completely blown away. I didn't sit there and hound them. You know, he showed me updates. I told him I liked what he was doing. I went with it. I didn't change anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me that I kind of didn't really care for the whole. They're just too picky, customer wise, with how what they want things done. I would rather just draw something like, oh, here's basically what I want you to do. This, and this. Okay, here's my end result. That's how I think it should go. I know how clientele and stuff like that. They want something to look a certain way and blah blah blah. And I think that's kind of the boring aspect of it. And that's why I never really did it. Um, Not saying that my artwork's great, anyways, because again, that's all in eye of the beholder, or whatever you want to say about like artwork. Um, yeah, so this is an idea I've been tossing around in my head for a little bit. I'm basically turning my grandchildren into comic book characters. Um, this started back with my stepdaughter. Um, well, I call her my daughter. She's technically my stepdaughter. My daughter was having issues with her third child. She was in the hospital, and I was out in the vehicle waiting for her to come out, and she had her two other kids with her. So I was in the car with them, and I was trying to keep them entertained. We're just talking, and her daughter Annabelle was just hilarious. Um, I don't even know how the conversation started, but I was saying like she was a princess. She's like, "No, I'm not a princess. I'm a robot." I'm like, "Oh, so you're a robot princess?" She goes, "No, I'm not a robot princess. I'm a superhero." So I'm like, "Oh, so the robot princess superhero just became like her nickname that night," and it's always just stuck with me. So this is right here. This is my interpretation of Annabelle as the robot princess superhero. Um, the one thing I already looking at this, I kind of don't like the way it came out. I was going for like more like a cartoon aesthetic when I was drawing her. Then I started drawing her cousins and her brother, and they look more realistic, comic book style, I should say, not realism. And I kind of like now looking at them like, oh shit, doesn't match at all. But yeah, and I know I was using Ultraman as a model, or the Ultra characters as a model to draw her. And I know they aren't robots, they're aliens, but my family doesn't know that. My family thinks, she's a robot superhero like she's supposed to be. And kind of very terribly was attempting to draw cowboy boots for her, which looked so bland because, she did have cowboy boots on one day because her pants were a little too short. She was starting to grow out of the pants. Her mother didn't put like newer pants on her yet. She was trying to hide the fact that her pants were short with cowboy boots, which I thought was the cutest little look on her. I gave her a tutu. For some reason, I thought like, the cowboy boots and a tutu, why not? Combination for a little superhero. I gave her a tiara that glows, got a yellow glow coming off it, even though the gems on it are blue. She actually wore a tiara similar to that, like I think for her birthday. Then down here is her cousin Olivia, who is a little hot shit. She's got an attitude on her, little psychotic, little 4-year-old, whatever you want to say. For some strange reason, I just imagined her as a shield maiden. So she doesn't really have, other than her actual name, I just call her the Shield Maiden. Then I kind of went crazy with Olivia's sister, Aelin, and their family name is Straw. Her father is, I think, 6'2", and he's skinny and he looks like a straw. So Aelin is Crazy Straw. So it's kind of like a Mr. Fantastic, bendy, flexible rubber powers or something like that. I'm having trouble drawing Annabelle's brother, Lucas, who I should have just done as a Jedi with the name of Lucas, for God's sakes. But he wanted to be something cool like the Dino King. So I'm modeling him after Red King from the Ultraman universe. Even though Red King looks nothing like a dinosaur, he, to me, reminds me of a giant corn on the cob. I might change some of the details, tweak it a bit so it's not an exact ripoff of Red King. But yeah, that's basically what I'm going to go with. I'm going to obviously fix his head. That's just the roughest pencils he could possibly think of. I'm going to try to make his face look a lot better, obviously, than that. But, him and his two sisters have like the biggest brown eyes. So the eye size is going to change. I mean, it's probably stay the same. I got to work on the face and the cheeks and everything else, all those other details. But I'm actually kind of impressed, honestly, how Olivia came out and her sister. Then, of course, the robot princess superhero. And the whole thing was going to make them like a superhero team. So yeah, I was going to do a video of me just recording me drawing, but I think I just show you guys for now. Maybe we'll update again, and maybe I'll do a video where I'm actually working on this, and you guys can watch my process if you think that's interesting enough for you. who knows? So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun shit. Video's over. Get the fuck out of here.